Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what he thinks and feels when he looks at your photos. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your pile selection, I'd just like to thank and give a quick word to my sponsorship, Keen. I started to feel like me and my partner have gotten a bit disconnected in our relationship, so when the Keen sponsorship came along, I thought it would be a good time to get a reading from one of their tarot readers. I asked about the future with my partner, and she predicted that our relationship would deepen through the upcoming months, and while receiving the reading, I couldn't see how, but when time came to pass, I could start to see what she said about our relationship was true. Last year, we dedicated a lot of energy into our careers, so we barely had any time to spend together as we were busy most hours of the day. So we planned ahead to take a break. It allowed us to spend more time and to be in each other's presence. We got to connect and get closer to each other again, just like the reader predicted. Ever since her prediction came true, I realized we need to make quality time a priority. And since then, our connection and bond has only gotten stronger and grown. We found our way back to each other and strengthened our connection again, so what she said definitely resonated with what happened. The love reading I got was very beautiful and sweet, and every detail mentioned was accurate and actually made sense. So I'm grateful for Keen for providing such good readings and gifted psychics, and would definitely recommend their readers to anyone. So if you would like to know more about your life or anything in general, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers like myself, who are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can always get a reading whenever it suits you. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. These readers all have their own unique specialties and gifts, so whether it be about your love life or what to do next in your career or just life in general, they are able to provide a deeper understanding of your situation and how to navigate it from there. You can choose whichever reader best suits your needs, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description box to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, we have 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Crystal Aquamarine with the 3 of Swords. For pile 2, we have Green Opal with the 4 of Swords. And for pile 3, we have Amethyst with the 4 of Pentacles. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is standing out to you the most, and that will be a pile for today. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Aquamarine crystal and the 3 of Swords, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what he thinks and feels when he looks at your photos. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you like tarot content, because I do post tarot picker cards every single day. So if you don't want to miss out on that, you know what to do. When I reach 25k, I am going to be doing a giveaway. So if you'd like to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment on any of my recent uploads. So let's take a look at what tarot cards you have, and then after that we'll take a look at your oracle cards. So spirit guides of pile number 1, spirit guides of pile number 1. What he thinks and feels when he looks at their photos. So I feel these cards. You actually have a lot of cards that just came out. So let's see what you have. First off, I'd say there's a lot of sensuality here. A lot of attraction this person has towards you. So we have the King of Wands showing, you know, a lot of passion, attraction. The Queen of Swords. The King of Cups. Judgment. Ace of Pentacles. Is this somebody from your past? Because the Six of Cups is showing up next. And the Ace of Pentacles is here. So this makes me think, I'm seeing a storyline, like let's say you're asking about an ex-lover and you're already with somebody new. And the ex-lover is almost like very heartbroken. When he sees you with this new lover, sees you posting pictures with this new lover, I don't know why that's coming up. I don't know if you asked about the ex or your new lover, but I think I'm picking up on an ex's energy. Because the Three of Swords here represents heartbreak. So this person, he feels very heartbroken. When he looks at your pictures, he's obviously still attracted to you in some way. But there's a lot of heartbreak, like, why am I not the one with him? And the Queen of Swords here makes me think that sometimes when he looks at your photos, he feels like talking to you or reaching out to you or communicating to you again. He kind of feels an urge or a temptation to do that. So for most of you, I see this energy where you're in a no contact situation with this ex-lover. The energy is kind of reminding me of the song When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. I actually heard that song before starting your reading when I was pulling cards for the intro. So it's quite funny that I heard that song and, you know, it's actually showing up in the storyline of these cards here. It's like this person, he wishes he was your man right now instead of the other person. And if you don't have somebody new in your life right now, maybe he just is wondering if you have somebody new yet, if you're talking to any other men, if you're going on dates, if you're putting yourself out there, or if you're single. It's like he kind of stalks your social media to see what's going on, to see if you're with any other men, okay? There's a lot of jealousy felt here. A lot of jealousy, like, I'm not the one being with you right now. And as I said that, I got strong goosebumps, so that's confirmation. This person, he feels jealous when he sees you with other men. Or just in general, the thought of you with another man. But he knows he doesn't have access to you anymore, so it's kind of like this bittersweet feeling of reminiscing on your memories with the Six of Cups. When he does look at your photos, he reminisces a lot about the past and the memories you have, and they bring him some kind of feelings of happiness and joy, but also like this bittersweet feeling, like, I almost feel him thinking, I wish I could go back to those moments we were together. I wish I could go back in time. So I see him kind of thinking that to himself. We have the King of Pentacles showing up next. We have the Empress in the reverse. So it's sort of like when he sees or thinks of you and the fact that you're so attractive, you're obviously going to attract other people your way, and the thought of you being with another person just makes him very insecure as well. Not just jealous, but also very insecure with the Empress reverse. It's sort of like this person kind of clings to you a little bit, even though you're not together anymore. They cling to the idea of you. Next, we have the Three of Cups. So I don't know what happened in your connection, but for some of you, I feel like the situation where maybe the reason you broke up was because of a third-party connection, whereas for others of you, I'm hearing miscommunications, like, or you just couldn't see eye to eye, or it just wasn't working out. But for some of you, if you relate to that third-party energy, I always see this energy where this person almost made you think that you were insecure, but you weren't being insecure. You were really sensing. You're really intuitive, okay? You were really sensing what was going on behind closed doors. It's like you just knew. It's like you could just smell it. I don't know why I'm saying smell it, but it's like I'm imagining those dogs that can just smell anything. Spirit is showing me that. So it's like you could smell the BS of this person. You know what I mean? You could smell their lies. Like you could just kind of investigate that. Next we have the Two of Pentacles. So it's funny that if this was a situation where there was a third party connection, it's funny that they're jealous seeing you with other people, or the thought of you with other people romantically irks them. But for some of you, they were doing that exactly behind your back, which to me doesn't make sense. It's like this person's experiencing a taste of their own medicine, if that is true. And it's not going to resonate with everybody, but for somebody here. We have the Fool card. It's like this person sees that you're moving on. We also have the Eight of Wands going along with this. So I see this as moving on, moving forward, going towards a new beginning. And it's sort of like whenever he views your photos, he feels very emotionally imbalanced. He feels like he doesn't have control over his emotions. He feels heartbroken. He feels sad. Do you know what Spirit's showing me? You know those TikToks where somebody's like crying and vomiting at the same time? Like Spirit's showing me that. Like an ugly cry as well. This person might have actually cried to the thought of you. And I'm not just saying this, but I'm actually seeing it in the energy. I wouldn't say something if I didn't see it here. So yeah, there's mainly a feeling of heartbreak here and reminiscing on the old memories, but also a bittersweet feeling knowing that you're moving on. But this person is still stuck on the thought of you. The reason I say so is because the Death card is in the reverse, which is about them not being able to accept the fact that things have ended between the two of you. Death reverse, how I read this card is, you know, not being able to accept an ending, holding on to something that has already been gone. And it's really weird because I had a dream last night similar to this message. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but sometimes I receive clairvoyant dreams that allow me to also get messages in my readings and kind of like put the two and two together. So I think I dreamt for you, but I think with Death reverse, again, it's like he doesn't want to let go. He doesn't want to accept that things have already ended. Okay. Next we have the Star. He's realizing that maybe he needs to heal from this. He needs to find his own closure from this. He needs to move on. Because it's kind of like he's in emotional turmoil over you and he doesn't want to stay this way forever. He wants to be able to move on eventually. But it's sort of like with the King of Swords reverse. I'm hearing his mind cannot accept the reality check, the change that's happened. His mind can't accept. Next we have the Chariot card. So he is secretly hoping that you two resolve things, that you two eventually end up speaking again. Maybe you're in no contact right now. Maybe this person's blocked for some of you, but it's kind of like this person's hoping every time he looks at your photos, he's hoping that you two would eventually do kind of get over this and get back together, come back to union. The reason I say so is because we have the Four of Wands here, and as I looked at this card, I heard the word union. So it's kind of like this person, every time he looks at photos of you, he reminisces about you and he imagines what it would be like to resolve something with you, or to get back together with you, to be in reunion with you, and to almost like overcome the things you've gone through in your connection, heal it. It's sort of like this person can't accept the fact that things have actually ended realistically, because I feel for a lot of you, you don't want this person back. And for others of you, maybe you do, but for those that don't want this person back, it's kind of like this person isn't accepting the reality. He's like living in dream world, dreaming of things that don't exist. And for those that do want this person back, that's up to you. Depends on what the connection was like. Please don't go back to somebody that hurt you or just treated you badly. If this connection was a good connection, then I also understand that's your own decision to make. But I feel most of you don't want this person back. Most of you maybe never even asked about this person, but they just came up. Okay, we have the Two of Wands showing up next. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Seven of Wands. So it's kind of like he sees you as so soft. He sees you as so gentle. But for a lot of you, especially if there was a lot of things going on in this connection, it's kind of like you had to have a guard up against this person to protect yourself. Also, Spirit is taking me back to the crystal you chose. I didn't choose this crystal for you, my boyfriend did. And he didn't even know the storyline I was seeing, but it's broken here. So it's kind of like I'm seeing this feeling of like things breaking in the connection. Like both of you have been hurt in this connection. And it's kind of like eventually you had to protect your heart against this person for a lot of you watching. For others of you, if nothing bad happened in this connection, it's kind of like maybe you've blocked them off, maybe you don't want to talk to them. The Seven of Wands is like, in my opinion, in this case, it can be read differently for different readings, just depending on the situation. But in my opinion, I'm seeing this as you sort of pushing this person away, not wanting them in your life. Knight of Wands reverse, Two of Wands. What is this, Spirit? This person feels embarrassed. Spirit is showing me an Instagram reel. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like a sound when people feel embarrassed. So this person, he feels embarrassed, like the fact that he's no longer with you, the fact that, especially if you have somebody new, it's like he feels embarrassed that he's lost you and that somebody else is treating you great and that you're probably or seeming really happy in the new connection. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you to get some more information. So Spirit Guides of Pile number ones. Spirit Guides of Pile number ones. What he thinks and feels when he looks at their photos. So we have the card Trust at the back of the deck. It's sort of like this person, he still trusts you, like he still believes you're a trustworthy person. I don't think you ever did anything to hurt him, per se. We have Pink Amethyst, Soul Star Chakra, Divine Love, or to break his trust. I don't think you've ever done that. So I think he feels as though you are like some kind of soulmate or divine love. I'm not saying that you are. I couldn't tell right now because I'm reading his thoughts and feelings, not necessarily the energies of your connection. So take this with a grain of salt. But this is what he feels and thinks. He thinks you're a soulmate. He thinks that you're some kind of divine love. He thinks that you're meant to be together and that it's only a matter of time before you come together. I don't know if this is delusional thinking or if you like what you're hearing. I don't really know, but this is what I'm seeing. We have Aquamarine. You chose the crystal Aquamarine. That's so weird. Water element intuition. Spirit just amazes me. Your spirit guides, like, they just amaze me. Okay, so with the water element, there's still a lot of emotions here. when it comes to you. Even though things have ended a long time ago, this just shows me that he still has deeper feelings towards you. And when he looks at your photos, it's sort of like there's an outpour of those deep emotions. And the water here makes me also think of tears. So there's a lot of sadness and pain. And when we think of water, it holds memories. This person is holding on to your memories. But also with intuition here, it's sort of like when he looks at your photos, he unconsciously connects to your energy, because we all have an ability to connect to our intuition. We all have that ability. Okay, so it's kind of like he unconsciously, intuitively connects to you. And then maybe sometimes you will intuitively feel when he's watching you, or when he's looking at your photos, or thinking of you in any sort of way. Next, we have black tourmaline, Pluto, and regeneration. So this person, he believes that, maybe you're being protective of yourself right now and you won't let him back right now, but he actually believes that you two can transform this connection together. It's like he feels this intense emotion towards you, where it's kind of like all or nothing. I'd say this connection felt to him very intense, full of ups and downs, but it was exciting in some way. And I'd say for you, maybe you're not looking for those ups and downs anymore, those highs and lows. Because, like I said, it was very intense, this connection, but it was not the healthiest or the most consistent for most of you watching. For others of you watching, maybe there were ups and downs, but you know, it was still intense in some way, and maybe you don't relate to it not being healthy. That's okay. Just take what resonates, leave the rest. Yeah, with regeneration here, it's kind of like this person, he believes that he can transform the connection with you and actually bring it back to life in some way. We have sunstone, sacral chakra, and deep knowing. So the sacral chakra is responsible for our sensuality. So here we see the confirmation that this person is still sensually attracted to you. He still finds you very sexy. He may even fantasize about you in ways, or think about you in more of that sexier way. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm just seeing it. Also, the sacral chakra is responsible for our emotions, our confidence. So it's sort of like when he looks at you, he feels less confident, he feels insecure. Like I said, with that Empress in reverse card, that is a card of insecurity. He feels sort of like he's losing control of and losing you at the same time. And the sacral chakra is also responsible for our emotions. So again, there's a lot of emotions he has towards you, a lot of deep emotions, a lot of intense emotions, where he just can't seem to let you go. He can't seem to get you out of his mind. And with deep knowing here, it's kind of like he believes that he knows you're going to get back together. Whether that's true or not, this is what he believes. I don't know if you like that or not, but this is just what I see. So I really hope this reading resonated with you, pile number 1. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this green opal crystal and the 4 of swords, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what he thinks and feels when he looks at your photos. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you like tarot content and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily. When I reach 25k, I am going to be doing a giveaway. So if you'd like to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment on any of my recent uploads. So let's go ahead and shuffle your tarot cards. After that, we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. So spirit guides of pile number 2, spirit guides of pile number 2s. What he thinks and feels when he looks at photos of pile number 2. What he thinks and feels when he looks at photos of pile number 2. What he thinks and feels when he looks at photos of pile 2, please. It is 10:10 on the clock. That may be an angel number for somebody here. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. So I feel like with the Two of Swords, the Knight of Cups, there is this feeling of him wanting to sort of make a decision to show you love in some way with the Knight of Cups. So for example, I could use this as an example where, let's say you post a photo, for example, on social media like Instagram or something, and he sees it and he wants to make a choice to like it and leave a nice comment for you and say, oh, you look so beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, whatever you resonate with. It's kind of like that energy I see with the Knight of Cups, Two of Swords, kind of like he wants to compliment you, give you love, sort of show expression of admiration with the Knight of Cups here. And the Two of Swords is something about making a decision to do that for you. With the Four of Swords, he feels an incredible amount of peace when he looks at your photos. It's like there's no thoughts really going through his mind except loving thoughts, daydreaminess. I feel like he daydreams a lot about you. It's sort of like when he looks at your photos, he just feels immense peace. He just feels like you sort of soothe him. The thought of you soothes him, makes him grounded. On a bad day, he always feels uplifted at the thought of you. We have Justice showing up next. So he feels this urge to talk to you every time he sees a photo of you, to, tell you how he feels. He also feels like, I want to say, blessed by the universe that he has a person like you in his life. Because as I look at the justice scales, I'm thinking of karma, right? But karma can also be good karma. And it can be blessings, you know what I mean? I'm being reminded of blessings we receive from doing good when I look at this specific justice card for you, for your energy. So it's kind of like intuitively, I feel like he feels blessed to have a person like you. Like, what did I do to deserve a person like you? I'm so lucky. I feel that energy, and he sometimes feels not good enough for you. He sometimes feels like, you could do a lot better than him, and that that you're sort of out of his league, and that he's sort of like just lucky to be with a person like you. Not just because of your physical appearance. It's like, to this person, you're very hot. You're very beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, but whatever you resonate with, but it's like also your personality traits match up to what he wants in love. And it's sort of like, yeah, what did I do to deserve somebody so good to me? Because I feel like you're really loving to him. He can trust you. He can rely on you. He can count on you. When you make decisions, you involve him. You bring him peace of mind. You don't bring like problems or challenges into his life, I'm hearing. So it's just like he feels incredibly lucky. We have the Six of Swords, and he'd never want to change anything about the situation you're in. Okay, that's what I'm seeing with the Six of Swords. Nine of Wands reverse. This is exactly what I said. It's like you aren't creating challenges or problems in his life. Um, maybe he had previous exes that did that, or maybe he's heard stories of people doing that, but I kind of feel with this Nine of Wands, that's the message here. Because it's in reverse, it's like you don't cause challenges or problems. Things actually feel incredibly easy with you. And it's like he wouldn't want to change anything. He feels incredibly fulfilled. Next, we have the Queen of Wands. So he finds you very, very attractive, but he also finds your soul and your personality beautiful. Your spirit is beautiful. It's like he believes you're very photogenic. That's what I'm seeing with the Queen of Wands, the Temperance card. There's something here about wanting to see you, but having to be patient. There's something about also him thinking your photos are very bold, like you're very attractive, yes, but you're also showing up authentically as who you are in your photos. So for example, in the way that you dress, it's authentic to you, you know, the way you take photos, it's very you. And he likes that about you. That's what he thinks when he looks at your photos. He feels incredible optimism, passion when he looks at your photos, and it's like he almost feels like he's filled up with so much joy and happiness. I feel like this is my pile of people where, let's say you're in a relationship with a person and you love to send each other memes on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Like, I'm seeing sending of memes, like, you always make him laugh in some way. He might even find you funny, like the things you say. So sometimes when he looks at your face, he'll kind of reminisce on things you've said to him and how it made him laugh, or kind of like the things you said that really brought him joy, is what I want to say. He finds your eyelashes very beautiful for the woman watching, but there could also be men with good looking eyelashes. And he also finds your side profile really nice. He thinks it really looks nice to him. He also finds your nose attractive and your eyebrows. I'd say your whole face is attractive to him, even your lips. Like your whole face in general is attractive. We have the moon card showing up next. So it's almost like he wants to tell you about the hidden feelings he has for you, the deeper feelings he has for you whenever he looks at your photos. He feels this urge to talk to you. And there's a lot of sensual attraction here where it's sort of like he gets turned on by pictures of you. That's what I want to say. I don't mean to make it an 18 plus reading, but we have the devil here, and that makes me think of like getting turned on. And it's also like he's a little bit obsessed with you, but in a good way. I feel like I'm hearing that song How Deep Is Your Love by Ellie Goulding. So I feel like he has a lot of deep feelings and love for you, but there's also a lot of attraction here that he just can't hide. We have the Hierophant here, and when I look at this glass of wine, I'm almost thinking with the devil next to the Hierophant, I'm seeing Morticia and Gomez in my mind when he like kisses up her arm and he's so romantic to her. But regardless of your gender, just take it as it resonates. It's like this person's smitten by you. He's obsessed with you. He almost sees you as like his addiction. And that's what I'm seeing with the Hierophant, the devil. Since he has a wine glass here, the devil can represent addictions too. So it's almost like he feels addicted to you. He feels like obsessed with you in some way when he looks at your photos, but in a good way. Okay, we have 10 of Wands. So there's this feeling of like, I'll never lose hope in our connection because things are going so well. And even in times where we kind of have our ebbs and flows, Two of Pentacles in reverse. The reason I say ebbs and flows is because I'm looking at the moon and I'm imagining moon phases. And, you know, each connection goes through its ups and downs. That's the cycle of life. Things aren't always happy. But, you know, even in those difficult moments, he can see hope at the end of the tunnel. He feels like, you know, it's worth spending his life with you. I'd say this man, he feels serious about you. He feels like he really cares about you. Next, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's sort of like he wants to see a new beginning with you. He wants to see himself continuing to live his life with you. Okay, he wants to see those beautiful new memories come in with you. It's like every time he looks at a photo of you, he wants to see you in person. He doesn't want to just look at a photo of you. We have the Lovers. So I'm hearing for some of you, this person, he likes to stare at you, and sometimes you'll be like, why are you staring at me? But he likes to stare at you and just admire you. And if he doesn't stare at you in person, then he stares at your photos, because I'm hearing stare at you. Okay. With the Lovers here, he feels a lot of love for you, like I said before, but there is also a sense of overall commitment he has for you. Like, he wants to commit to you. He really wants to see a future with you. I'm seeing something about him really seeing you as a person he wants to spend his life with. And if you're not at that stage in your connection yet, for some of you, then this could be a potential he sees in the connection, or an end game goal he sees for himself. Because I feel like he's the type of person that wants commitment, that wants a long-term connection that's beautiful, that's full of romance. And it's sort of like you just have him wrapped around your finger. That's what I want to say here from this energy. Believe it or not, he is smitten by you. And with the Lovers here, I'm looking at Aphrodite holding the statue. So it's almost like I'm imagining, let's say he's at home and he's not with you in the moment and he's looking at a picture of you. I'm imagining him like almost hug his pillow and pretend it's you. I know most of us have done that before. I'm hearing some of you are in long distance relationships and he looks at photos of you when he misses you. That's not going to resonate with everybody, but for somebody here. Another thing I see here is like he misses your touch and your hugs whenever he's not around you. Something about your touch, your hugs are so comforting to him. They bring him so much happiness and joy. And, you know, when he's having a bad day, it's like you always uplift him. You always cheer him up. You always give him comforting hugs. He just loves your hugs. He loves your kisses, your affection. And that is what I see here with the Lovers card. Next, we have the Empress. Oh, why did I say the Empress? The High Priestess. It's kind of like with the High Priestess. He feels this intuitive connection with you, with the Moon as well. It's kind of like he feels this is more than just a normal connection. It feels deeper than that. It feels like some kind of soul connection to him. And as I say that, I'm getting these goosebumps. So I feel like that's a spiritual truth I'm picking up on from him. So he feels like this is more than just a love. It's spiritual. It's sacred in some way. It's like he believes he's meant to be with you. Next, we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Sometimes he may look at photos of you and like worry and be scared of losing you. I think he is scared of losing you because he does want this so badly. So he's just scared it doesn't happen, because it's kind of like he knows he'll never find another you, and he doesn't want to find anybody else. He wants to be with you specifically and only. So there's some kind of fear of losing you. And that's what I see with the Nine of Swords. But it's kind of like he tries to not think about that. He tries to sort of like calm his mind down. That's what I see with that card. Next, we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. Let's go ahead and do that. So, Spirit Guides of pile number 2. Spirit Guides of pile number 2s. What does he think and feel when he looks at their photos? So we have Ammonite, Palace, and Trust. This makes sense. He really trusts you. He feels like he can rely on you. He feels like you're loyal, honest. And he feels like your connection is older than time. It's ancient. Like you've met each other in past lives. That's what I see with this fossil here, because fossils have been there for many, many, many years. They're ancient in some way. And it's kind of like that's how he views your connection. He may also view you as an old soul. And he may feel as though the love he has is deeper than just a normal connection. It's like he really treasures your love. That's what I'm seeing with this card. Next, we have Lapis Lazuli, third eye chakra, and consciousness. Yes, another third eye card. I can't make this up. Next, we have Peach Selenite, universal chakra, and insight. It's sort of like he has this inner knowing, like he knows he's just meant to be with you. He knows he's meant to share love with you. And he does feel a lot of love when he looks at your photos. He also feels like talking to you in the moment when he looks at your photos, because we have throat chakra at the back of the deck and expression. So definitely, like whenever he sees your photos, he wants to reach out to you, or he feels like reaching out to you. And it's sort of like he feels this deep connection to you, like we just know each other like the back of our hands. I feel like you two have this telepathic connection where one of you will think something and the other one will say it out loud, or you'll kind of just know what the other person's thinking, maybe by their facial expressions. It's kind of like that energy showing up here. Anything else, Spirit? What does he think and feel when he looks at their photos? Malachite, Uranus, and Eudaimonia. So he feels like your connection is very healthy. I feel like he hasn't experienced the love as healthy as yours, and he feels like he puts all his focus on you whenever he sees you in person, but also in your photos. Like his focus is just on you. And it's kind of like the more he's with you, the more he feels like he gets to know himself on a deeper level. He feels more like himself around you than on his own. And with Uranus here, it's like he has certain ideas about the future. Malachite is also a crystal of the heart chakra. So there's a lot of love here, like I said before. And since we have the North Node at the back of the deck, it's like he feels like he's destined to be with you. It's fate. It's like he's meant to be with you. That's what the North Node is about. He feels like you help him grow in a way. And it's sort of like he appreciates the love. He thinks of all these things while he looks at your photos, in terms of how he feels about your connection. He thinks of all these things. So this is what I see for you, pile number 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pal number 3s. If you chose this amethyst crystal in the Four of Pentacles, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what he thinks and feels when he looks at your photos. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like tarot content and if you would like to stay up to date with what I post daily, hit the subscribe button to not miss out. I am going to be doing a giveaway when I reach 25k subscribers. So if you'd like to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment on any of my recent uploads. So we're going to start out with shuffling your tarot cards, and then after that we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. So let's see what shows up here for you. First thing I'm seeing with the Four of Pentacles is I'm seeing a screensaver. Somebody here has a boyfriend that has them on their screensaver. And I'm seeing like this person screenshot all your photos. Like, let's say you send him certain photos. I feel like you're that type of person that sends him a photo and says, do you like this one or this one most? And then you post the one you like the most. I'm seeing something like that for somebody here. It's not going to resonate with everybody. But let's say you post pictures online or you just send him photos. I see him saving all the photos and keeping it on his phone. So what else do we see here? Spirit guides of pile number 3. What he thinks and feels when he looks at their photos, please. What he thinks and feels when he looks at pile number 3's photos, please. So we have the Hangman in the reverse. We have the Ace of Swords. We have Judgment. We have Strength. And we have the Three of Wands. So do you know what I'm seeing as a vision for you? We have Justice at the back of the deck. It's kind of like I'm seeing him sort of imagine your whole life together and what that would look like in the future. What that would look like when you two grow old together, when you two if you two have kids. I don't know if you want kids or not, but I see him sort of thinking about the idea of kids and what it would be like to have kids, because I see him kind of daydreaming about the future and kids running around. Like, I saw a vision of that, like him growing up and imagining his future in some way with you. So that's what he thinks of when he looks at your photos, your future together, and what that may potentially look like. Sometimes when he thinks of your future with the Ace of Swords and Chaos, it's kind of like he has the worst case scenario show up in his mind, where he starts to get worried that, what if things fall apart? What if this? What if this? What if that? But then I also feel like that's not true. It's sort of just our minds thinking of the worst possible outcome because we fear the worst possible outcome because we want this so badly. We want this outcome so badly that it's sort of like we feel stuck if we don't get this outcome. So he's very attached to the outcome of your future together. And that's what I see in terms of what he thinks of when he looks at your photos. He finds you very, very attractive, very sexy. As I'm looking at this Judgment card, her demeanor looks very sensual in some way, very seductive in some way. Like, you can seduce this person with just your look. And I saw the King of Wands was popping out, so I take that as him feeling a certain type of passion and excitement when he looks at your photos, like feeling sensually appealed to you, like attracted to you in that sense. With Strength here, he feels as though your connection is strong. With the Tower coming out, it's sort of like, even though you've been through chaotic moments in your connection where he thought things was going to fall apart, it's like you both held on to each other and chose to stay and chose to like work on your connection. And it's like he believes that your connection is stronger than even challenges that might come your way. Let's say something happens, like a worst case scenario happens in an area of life you don't expect. It's sort of like you're there to support each other through that. And that is how he feels about you. He feels like you two just support each other through anything. And you two don't necessarily even abandon each other. You two just kind of like stay together and believe that the connection is strong enough to make it through anything. And not just the relationship challenges, but life challenges. Like, you're both stronger together when you support each other. In your lowest moments, you're there to sort of catch each other. And that's how he feels when he looks at your photos. That's what he thinks of when he looks at your photos. So next we have the Three of Cups. He feels like he holds on to you with the Four of Pentacles. Like, he can't ever let you go. Even if things had to change in your connection or fall apart, he wouldn't be able to let you go. Six of Swords, not Six of Pentacles. But there's this feeling of like, let's just say the worst case scenario happened and you did break up and he was to find somebody new. He wouldn't even want to find somebody new. He wouldn't even be able to move on from you. That is how he feels when he looks at your photos. I don't know why he's thinking of the worst case scenario, but I'm just seeing it here, so I'm relaying the message for you. Next we have Justice and the Nine of Wands. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so I think both of you have trust issues. I think both of you have gone through challenging relationships in the past, have gone through your own fair share of heartbreak and pain. But it's sort of like you're there to support each other, help each other through it. He knows he can trust you. He knows you're honest. He knows you're genuine. And he knows you're somebody that is going to change his life in very big ways. He also feels like he doesn't just have love for you, he has a friendship with you. And that's something very important to him in his connections. Being able to have that friendship with you, your person, like see them as your best friend, where you're able to have conversations with them and talk about anything. And there's no sense of judgment here or like, should I say this, should I not? There's a sense of comfortability here. The thing is, he doesn't even find it challenging to be loyal to you or to be honest with you, because it's like he doesn't have eyes for anybody else except you. That's what I'm seeing intuitively with Justice. Because her eyes are blindfolded, I'm just seeing the message intuitively. And with the Ten of Pentacles, he can see this connection lasting in the long run. He can see this connection going far. He can see it having stability, a sense of longevity. Next, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Next, we have the Page of Swords. So when he looks at photos of you, he's curious as to what you think of him. He's curious as to what you feel about him. And he's curious as to if you see a future with him the same way he does. I'm hearing the song I've Been Thinking About You by Frank Ocean. And one part he says, like, do you think about me too? Or do you not think so far ahead? So it's kind of like he's wondering and is curious about if you think about the future, what your future vision is for the connection, like what you feel for him and what you think of him if you ever look at his photos. We have the Two of Wands. So it's sort of like he imagines you looking at his photos and like tries to imagine what you're feeling. That sounds really weird, but I'm seeing it. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Page of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. So one thing about him is, although he sees that future with you, he also doesn't want to rush things with the Knight of Wands reverse, but he feels very optimistic about the future. He feels like optimistic about the connection, feels like it's going to be a good decision for him overall. It's the connection has stability of its own. So that is how he's feeling when he looks at your photos. He's kind of thinking of the connection you have. Then we have the Emperor. We have the Hermit. We have the Magician in the reverse. Okay, this showed up sideways. So why is the Magician sideways, Spirit? He's hoping that you two don't have different wants for the future, for what you want to create in the future. With the Hermit here, I sort of feel intuitively he may have a tendency to overthink. Along with that Ace of Swords Chaos card that came out earlier, he has a tendency to overthink and be like, what if they don't feel the same way about me? What if they want a different future than me? Like, it's kind of giving me that energy where he's questioning what you want in the future. And now as I say what you want in the future, I'm seeing a vision of the Notebook when he says to her, what do you want? What do you want? And then she's like, it's not that simple. And then he's like, what do you want? So it's kind of like he's wondering what you want for the future with him. I think now I'm going to take a look at your oracle cards. I'd say your reading was very straightforward. If it is a little bit shorter, that's why. Spirit guides of pile number 3s. Is he a straightforward person that just gives answers quickly? Because I'm feeling that in the energy, trying to get more messages, but the same messages keep showing up. So we have universal chakra, peach selenite, and insight. Spirit guides of pile number 3s. Spirit guides of pile number 3s. What he thinks and feels when he looks at their photos. Pyrite, Mars, momentum. Lapis lazuli, third eye chakra, and consciousness. And we have Ammonite, Palace, and Trust. You may resonate with pile 2 if you were drawn, because I also said to them, these 3 cards came out for them, and I said to them, you have this deep intuitive connection. I see the same for your pile, and it's actually weird because pile 2 was the 4 of Swords, and you're the 4 of Pentacles. So I sort of feel like pile 2 and 3 has a similar energy, but different in a way. So if you were drawn, you can go ahead and watch that. If not, that's okay. But with Mars here, there's a lot of sensuality because Mars is a very like that type of planet. You know what I mean? But it's also like a very driven planet. So it's sort of like he has certain goals for your connection, certain goals for himself and where he sees himself in the future. And it's sort of like when you two are together, I feel like you motivate each other to become the best versions of yourself. You inspire each other to reach your goals, to achieve the things you want in life, to be driven, to not give up, to build momentum towards the things you want in life. But he also feels like things are moving in a pace he likes with you, and it's building momentum slowly but surely. But eventually things are going to go very fast where your connection just builds in a way where it's like unbelievable and surreal. It's like he feels, when he thinks of the future with you, when he looks at your photos, he mostly thinks of the future with you, and he feels like it would feel surreal. It would feel like a dream to be able to have what he wants with you. And it's sort of like he doesn't mind it moving that way. He actually enjoys the process of how the future unfolds. With trust here, he completely trusts you. I'm always seeing a vision of him give his heart to you and trust you with it, and trust that you're not going to let it fall, you're not going to break it, you're not going to lose it. I don't know why I said that, but I'm just thinking of it like a phone. Anyways, with lapis lazuli and the inside card, it's like he knows that he wants to be with you. He just intuitively knows you're the person he wants a future with. And I can tell you, a lot of you, even in the beginning stages of your connection, he just knew he wanted to be with you. It was just like this intuitive knowing that is difficult to explain in words, but it's sort of like he just knew when he saw you that you're the one he wants to be with. Not even just because of looks, but he just knows. It's it's hard to explain, but I'm just seeing that. Do you know how they say that men know who they want to marry? I'm kind of seeing Spirit show an example of that to explain it more. Like sometimes, let's say a man dates a woman and he kind of like is wishy-washy with her. He doesn't know what he wants. But then you'll find another man that sees a woman and knows what he wants immediately and knows he wants her immediately. And then maybe that other man breaks up with that woman, and later on he meets somebody else and he marries her within like a year. So sometimes you see things like that where men know when they want somebody. I don't know what that's about, but I'm just seeing a vision of that from Spirit. So this person really wants you. He wants a future with you. And that's the consistent message we keep seeing in your reading. So I really hope this reading resonated with you. This is what he thinks and feels when he looks at your photos. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.